Hi, everyone. Welcome in, everyone. Let me know if you can hear me okay. We're having problems with people getting the notifications. I don't even get the notifications. It's still, I don't have any notification that popped up for the video. So we will see if you guys get the notification. But nevertheless, even if you don't, the show must go on. I'll wait for a few of you guys to come in here. I can already tell it's about to be powerful. And there's a demon lurking in the shadows because I can taste it. And I mean, literally. I have all the clairs, so I can taste when there is negative vibrations. And I'm telling you, what we're about to get into today may possibly be the negative energy that I'm already starting to channel and that they are already starting to fear. Feel like there's about to be a lot of channeling happening in this psychic investigation session today, and we're going to talk about how Erika Kirk is using the fake passing, or the psyop version of his passing, for his passing, I use that loosely, for political clout. This is what we're going to talk about, and we're going to go back to Erika Kirk's Akashic Soul, where I traced her soul line to, which was this Norse god of fertility in Norse mythology, and how I think her eyes, Nazism, and even J.D. Vance, I think they all tie together. And even Candace Owens. It's about to get deep. I'm going to try to stay on here for like 35-40 minutes, so I won't take up all of your time, but I feel that we really need to listen to this. Guys, there's a playlist, The Curious Case of Charlie Kirk. If you want to take a look at the full psychic investigation, all of the videos will be there. When you come in, guys, please support the channel, because you see they don't even give out the notifications, right? Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you've been unsubscribed, then please go ahead and resubscribe yourself, okay? Today's going to be a great day. We're going to have a very clear and open channel. I'm setting the intentions right now. No weapons formed against me shall prosper. No weapons formed against us shall prosper, okay? All right, almost done here. Alrighty. All right. Let us see. Welcome in. Hi. Notification came late. Okay. All right. Didn't get the notification, just happened to see it. Okay. Yep. We're back. And we're back. All right, guys. I don't know. It's the same viewers as last time, but that's okay, because maybe this is part of the message. Angel, please stick around. We need to talk. You have no idea what you've done for the collective. So, guys, I'm talking to one of my beautiful clients who we did. You can look back in the videos a few days ago. We did her quantum telepathic hypnosis session with past life regression. I am telling you, she has done the collective a solid. What I come to realize, Angel, is that you are holding massive codes for the collective, just like myself. I hold collective energy. I'm gonna tell you who the entity that popped up, Tika. I'm gonna tell you. I got a message about who she is, and I'm telling you guys, what we think we're in is much bigger than we ever thought. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't even know if I want to say this. And maybe that's why there's not a lot of people here. This will not be a video. That message, this will not be a message for people who are still in religion. And in some regards, it will not be a message for people that are still, they can still only view God in one way through, through our Christ Jesus, Lord and Savior, or through, another form. If you can't understand that source is all and can be all things, then you will not receive this message. But it is honestly what I've been receiving. And I've been kind of going down this road for many, many years. Welcome in, Shannon. So we're going to talk about that. Yes, come on in. Guys, come on. We got to get the comment section hype. Shout out your city, your mood, your energy level. Whatever what it is that you're eating on, drinking on, whatever. We're about to see what we're doing is we are rewriting code. We're changing the vibration. They're trying to not get people to get the notifications. All right, guys, I'm being silly, but I'm so happy to be here with you all this evening. Welcome in, Megan. Let me properly introduce myself. My name is Tahira, Mother of the Ages. I am a supernatural quantum healer. I am the curator of the quantum telepathic healing modalities. I am a clinical hypnotherapist by trade. I specialize in past life regression, quantum healing, my own form of the QHHT, which is the quantum telepathic healing with past life regression. Guys, I literally have discounted this like $200 or so. It can't get any cheaper. I have a whole playlist of client sessions. You can take a look at that. But if you want to book that, there'll be some links down below. I do this, a call for cleansing, every year at the end of the year. I have these heavy discounts because we got about, 12 more days. 12, interesting. We got about 12 more days before we enter new vibration. Story for another day, but let me stay focused because we're about to verify something that we've already been saying. We said from day one, we call this from day one, and you guys have been on this journey with me. Did we not say that they would use Charlie Kirk, the situation with Charlie Kirk, as a political, talking point to garner more support for the Republicans to remain in office? Look back at the videos. We've been saying this since day one. And the reason why they needed it is because the other side of the coin has already done it. The Democrats, Republicans, two sides of the same coin. There is no place to run that you're going to think you're going to get free. The freedom is when you in sin, is when you awaken to your own divinity. And that is when you literally create worlds and you collapse this matrix timeline, because we're on a matrix timeline. Sorry, I'm a conscious channeler. That means I channel from my conscious mind. So sources here are saying that this is a matrix timeline. The matrix is a timeline. And in order to collapse timelines, this is all you need to do. You experience the duality. So we're experiencing right now the duality of Democrat and Republican. Once we figure out that the truth is somewhere in the middle, what you do is you take the energy, the faith away from the Republicans and from the Democrats, and then you have an ascension. It's when you understand, the truth is somewhere in the middle. You get back to the 0 point consciousness, collapsing that timeline, and you ascend. And literally, this is what brings you closer out of the matrix timeline. We just keep recognizing game peeps game, and we collapse the timeline, going back to the 0 point consciousness. So that's how you do it if you want to get free from the matrix, okay? So here's the thing. The reason why they had to do it is because the Democrats already did it with George Floyd. George Floyd and Charlie Kirk's birthday is on the same day. So I don't know why people aren't mentioning that. And in some regards, Candace Owens is on fire right now, girl. But Candace, there's some things that I need you to mention so that I know that you're not actually part of it. Because you can expose and bring truth, but also be part of the greater psyop, even if you don't know you're being used. We're going to get back. This is why they had to do it, because it's a full ritual that has not been completed until the Republicans have their psyop too. It's a big pot of witches brew. The witchcraft they've been doing over the collective in the Vatican. See, they didn't want me to get that out. In the Vatican, girl. The witch's brew that they've been cooking up in the Vatican. And essentially, it needs the energy from both Democrats and Republicans. So the Charlie Kirk psyop fits in with the George Floyd psyop. The George Floyd psyop showed us the karmic mirror and how we felt about the situation. And it even showed us our prejudices. You know what I mean? It showed us that. Now we're getting to experience that on the other side of the coin. We're getting to see our prejudices. We're getting to see in the karmic mirror. Charlie is reflecting our own soul back to us. George Floyd was reflecting our own soul back to us. Now that we've experienced both, and we see that what we wanted for one now becomes what you get on the other side, even though it's all a psyop. And now we collapse the timeline, going back to the 0 point consciousness, ascending in order to ascend out of the false matrix timeline, because Erika Kirk is the biggest psyop queen ever. And this woman, I don't even know how people believe this stuff, but let me just show you something. Let me show you something. Let me show you what the psyop queen, this is her new name, because Source called her the Ice Queen, says she's a White Walker. You know, from the Game of Thrones with the extreme blue eyes. And like literally when they kill their prey, they also turn into White Walkers. That's who Erika Kirk is. She's here campaigning, turning the public into White Walkers. And so what it means is there's going to be more people in their army, in her army, in, you know, the right's army, but it's not about the right. It's about these demons that have put themselves into high places. The ones who worship in the synagogue of Satan. That's what it says in the Bible. I didn't make it up. Read it for yourself. And here's the thing. Let us take a look at this. Okay? We're
going to ensure that President Trump has Congress for all 4 years. We are going to get my husband's friend, J.D. Vance, elected for 48 in the most resounding way possible. We're going to ensure that President Trump has Congress for all 4 years.
What? Ooh.
We are going to get my husband's friend, J.D. Vance, elected for 48 in the most resounding way possible. We're going to ensure that President Trump.
Okay, guys, did you hear that? Now it's my Charlie's friend, J.D. Vance. We're going to get him elected. We're going to make sure Trump has Congress. Baby, if Trump gets any more power, I would hate to see what happens next. And you know what they've been saying? They say, you think Trump is bad. J.D. Vance is 10 times worse. And the reason why he's 10 times worse is because what I'm about to, you know, just go on this little journey. It Source led me to something. Guys, tell me what J is in the alphabet. What number position is that? Is that 10? Is that 10? J is the 10th letter in the alphabet. J. D is the 4th letter in the alphabet. If you add that together, 10-4. Okay, boss, 10-4. Okay. Who says that, 10-4? What does that make you think of when someone says 10-4? Makes you think of the military, doesn't it? 10-4 is, in the military, message received and understood. It's an affirmation of acknowledging the orders. If JD Vance gets into the White House, in the official seat, he will just be a puppet on a string, taking orders from someone. We all know who that someone is. The people, the shadow government currently operating the United States of Israel. That's not a joke. He will be taking orders saying 10-4, boss. 10-4. JD. This is what is given. This is exactly what it's given. And I have no idea. I'm not even about to go into his last name right now, but I'm sure we'll get back to that in a minute. You guys see where I'm going with this? Charlie doesn't comply. We move him out because this is a game of chess. Let's move him out of the way. We already got this other humanoid in the office perpetrating like the vice president, but really all he is a military op. Not just Erika Kirk that has the battery in her back. It's like the other day I said, this woman's giving the vibe she got a battery in her back and that she's giving clone. Like she'd been a clonade girl. And if you notice the eyes, the eyes never lie. You know how she's sitting there all weird and twitching? That's what I mean. It's the energy behind the eyes. And also her and JD Vance, they share the same eyes. I am telling you, the other day I was getting that vibe. Because when Source told me she's a humanoid. And I said, somebody got a battery in this woman's back. And what I mean by that is I'm getting the vibe that whoever created her is also the creator of JD Vance, of the 10-4. You got it, boss. I'm telling you. You can't make it up. So, Erika Kirk is a humanoid. Non-human entity with a human form or characteristics. I just wanted to look up the official meaning. Looks or acts real, like a live human being, but is not. Ooh, a humanoid robot is one that is designed to resemble a person. Interesting. So this is the first thing that I want to say, because there's no way we could break down numerically his name and it freaking brings us back to 10-4. Like, these are the little things that we got to start catching, because these literally, they're telling us right in front of our face. They're probably thinking how stupid are people that we just can't get this. Let me see what else it says about 10-4. Give me a second. Understood. Confirms that you heard instructions. He's going to be taking instructions. Okay. So this is the first thing I want to say. Now, hold on. Hold the horses, Denise. Let me show you guys. Just let me show you something. Let me show you something, and then it is just about to get deep. That's it. I just want to show you guys JD Vance once more. It looks like he's wearing eyeliner. I think it always has, even as a child. But guys, this is not a straight man. And I say this respectfully because I don't really care about your sexual preference or anything. But the energy, his countenance in the face and how he's holding himself. He has major, and we've already channeled this. It showed up in the automatic drawing. Imposter syndrome. Can I truly do this, right? Am I large enough? will I be found out as a fraud. Ooh, ooh, did you see that? Thumbs up. This is his energy. Okay? This is not a straight man. This may even be, it's given like transsexual, or even like someone who's had a sex change. That's what it gives to me. If you guys know Cher and Sonny's daughter, Chase, I think that's her name, Chance or Chase. Oh my God, she was such a cute baby, by the way. He reminds me a lot of her. They have the same energy, a very, very similar energetic countenance. And I don't know, because a lot of these people on these movements, when you really look into their sexuality, a lot of these men, and right now I'm talking about on the right, they don't like women. Nick Flynn, what's his name? Nick Fuentes or whatever. He says he hates women. He says that being with a woman is gay. That's what he says. I am telling you, these people are two sides of the freaking same coin. The Democrats and the Republicans. The Republicans spend all that time talking about, oh, the Democrats, they want to turn our children and, you know, have sex change and all of this. Meanwhile, your men have already been transformed. They're literally a transformer. And meanwhile, your men are complaining about the birth rate, and they don't even want to procreate with women. It's a clown show. I don't even think we have clown shoes big enough. Big enough for this whole thing. Like, it's just crazy. Wait a minute. I'm getting a notification. Okay. All right. I hope you guys can still hear me. I'm just saying, it's an absolute clown show. And then when we look at Erika Kirk, this woman, we're going to look at these eyes. Very similar eyes. It's the energy behind the eyes. It's not that the eyes are blue. They're piercing blue, as if they're looking past you. Because these people aren't real. I'm so sorry. They're not real. I don't even know what a biobot is, but I just wanted to say that word. She's not real. I'm just saying. Okay. Now, there's something very interesting that I need to say. And I'm not exactly sure how to say it. First and foremost, let me just talk about this first. We'll get to it. I think, see, this choppiness and the notifications not going out is probably because of what I came into the knowledge of last night. Because this is where, I mean, I get all of my prophecies in the wee hours of the morning. This is probably why. Something told me to just say, hey, who were the Nazis, you know, kind of targeting, right? And then I just kind of asked, you know, were the Nazis blue-eyed people? And so it says the Nazis promoted the Aryan ideal, blonde hair and blue eyes, as superior, the racial archetype for their master race. But many Germans, including Hitler himself, had brown hair, didn't fit this mode, and the Nazi units recruited those who embodied the Nordic ideal look to promote the image of racial purity. Now, something gave me pause here because the Nazism is the Aryan race, which technically is the model person, blue-eyed and blonde hair. Erika Kirk fits that to a T. You know what is given, guys? This is just coming up now, and I don't even know a lot about this history, but it feels like the Nazis and the Jews are the same people. I don't know if they are. I'm honestly ignorant to this fact. So I apologize if I'm ignorant of history. But it feels like a war where half of the people turned on the other half of the people. I don't know history, but I'm telling you, this is what I am getting. It's like family turning on family is what I'm getting. Tribe turning, fighting within the tribe. Like civil war activity. But it feels like they're the same. And maybe possibly they are. I don't know. That's coming through very clearly. See, humanity has a very sick problem. Once they run out of people to like other and fight, then they eventually turn on themselves. I don't know about you guys, but that just does not seem like godly behavior. As of yesterday, we said we just got to start calling out what is not godly behavior. And there has been nothing godly coming from over Israel yet. There has been nothing godly, nothing that would say you are a chosen people, anything of that nature. But here's the thing, y'all. All of this is a psyop. And I'm not disrespecting people who lost their life in the Holocaust, but I am telling you, it's the same people doing the murdering were the same people who got slaughtered. And this is a lesson. We're collapsing something. Even when you look back at slavery and how the Moors, which are, technically Aboriginal Americans, they came from North Africa originally, and they were here already after their stint in Europe. They also had some doing in the slave trade. So it's not just the Nazis are the same people. Even some of the people who sold people into captivity were also the same people enslaved. Do you see how a weird circle that is? Do you see how the Democrat and Republican, how everything's turning in on itself? Everyone that was so, far right, some of them, most of them, a lot of them are turning on their own party. And that's like, it's consuming itself. And then we have the Democrats. People start to turn on their own party. It starts to consume itself. Why is that? This is honestly, this is just coming up now. The same people who's supposed to be the one doing the atrocity is the same people who's having the atrocity done back to them. It's a weird, it's weird. But Source wanted me to say that because until we know that truth, that everything comes full circle, you're going to always be stuck in the duality. We have to collapse this. The ship is falling down. And when I say ship, funny I say ship. When I say ship, I don't think you guys understand what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the earth. I'm talking about humanity. I've not wanted to say this because it's not fear and gloom, but it's just a vibe. that everything comes full circle. Like the example that Source just pointed out, it's the same people that do the atrocities is the same people that the atrocities are done to. It's math that one out. I don't even know how that math makes sense, but that's what Source is saying. So what's very interesting is, and we're going to get back to where I was going, because it has a lot to do with the hypnosis session and a lot to do with what Spirit told me last night and a lot to do with the hands that I keep channeling. And the reason why, thank you, Source, you see that image where JD Vance, Erika Kirk, took the time on stage to not only hug JD Vance, but to run her hands through his head. And she kept it on his head for a while. And then there was like a whispering in the ear or something. I'm not showing pictures today. I'm just here to speak from Source consciousness. That's also part of the psyop and the ritual. Her holding the head. I'm sorry, these two are both humanoids. They're White Walkers. And when you support these people, you turn into a White Walker. Because if you look at their hardcore base, are a bunch of people that actually, there is no way on earth Trump would actually even let these people sleep on his sidewalk. Like the base of the right is a very ignorant base where they will follow the agenda to their own demise. Even if they see this is headed towards destruction, they just keep mindlessly following it until they fall off of a cliff, because they are turning them into White Walkers is what I'm saying. Go and look up White Walkers. It's from the Game of Thrones. This is what Source says that they are. And I'm telling you, it's giving the vibe that the military is the one that created these two. And it's more of them. How many other ones of them are in the government? How many Nazis are in the government? Everything is being revealed. Do you know, it's like a spiritual switch. That's the energy that we got. Today that happened. After those 3 days of darkness, the sun came out again, energetically. And the switch came on, and there was so many timelines that collapsed. There's so much more foresight, and I can see things around me. Nothing is hidden. Nothing is hidden. That's that 3-eye atlas energy where they were trying to cloak it, trying to put the fog out, trying to do all this to keep you from activating, because they can't stop you, but they can slow you down. Remember I said I traced Erika Kirk's Akashic soul back to a Nordic, a god, a deity in Norse mythology. But when I was reading this, kind of paragraph about, Nazi, so it even goes to say that they wanted those who embodied a Nordic look to promote their racial purity. And so that just like hit. I was like, Nordic. And so I asked, is Norse and Nordic similar? Because remember, I traced her back to a Norse mythology deity called Freyr. We're going to get to that. And so when I asked, is Nordic and Norse similar? I just thought so. It says, yes, Nordic and Norse are similar and related, but not identical. Norse refers specifically to the people language of Old Norse and the culture of the Vikings era, Scandinavia, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and their settlements, while Nordic is a broader modern term for the entire region, including Norway, Sweden, Denmark, plus Finland, Iceland, Greenland, and the Faroe Islands. So it's essentially the same thing. So me wanting to find out, hey, what was the Nazis' ideal of the perfect person, led me to the blue eyes and blonde hair. That's Erika Kirk. And then even at the end of the paragraph, it says this was a Nordic look. Oftentimes when we reincarnate with some of the same characteristics we had in a past life. So then now I plug this in. Nordic and Norse is pretty much the same region. And now this is what makes this so important about the history. So there's this god where I traced her back to. It's Norse mythology. It's Frey or Freyr, Freyr. And it's also called Lord, the god associated with kingship, fertility, peace, prosperity, fair weather, and good harvests, right? And sometimes referred to and associated with Sweden. Sorry, guys, if this is choppy. And seen as an ancestor of the Swedish royal house. Okay, so already we got that whole Nordic energy. This is why I keep going back to this, because this is where Erika Kirk got her original magic from. When she was part of this deity. I don't know if she was the entire consciousness, but she was part of this deity, at least the fertility part. This is where she first learned magic, which we now call, some people call it witchcraft. This is where she got it from. So energy it's very interesting how we can trace back even the point where she learned who she is today. Even though she is a humanoid today, she once was in the vibration of this god, or at least the part that dealt with fertility. Okay, so I find that interesting because sorry guys, hold on, see, they don't want me to get my things are messed up. They don't want me to land this thing. Hold on. No, all of the windows that I set up are missing. What? Hold on. Wait a minute. They're all missing. What? Yo. This is crazy. Woosah. 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 Maybe I'm not supposed to say it. I don't know. Give me a second. Give me a second. Get this. Erika's grandfather was an immigrant from Sweden. This is all very interesting. What did we just say? Like this Nordic energy. I guess let me forget about this because somehow this all got messed up. The whole point is what I was able to do is to trace Erika Kirk through that Norse deity back in Norse mythology back to Nazi. And I don't know where my windows went. But now it just confirms even her grandfather is immigrant from Sweden, right? Which, as we know, the Nordic, what it said under the Nazism, it says that was the ideal look, the Nordic look, which Sweden is part of the Nordic look. So it's just a confirmation. So hold on. We cooking. Hold on. So that's why Source had me say that. So all of this is leading back to the Nazis. What did I just say? I said, it's like the same people that did the atrocity is the same people who died by the atrocity that their other self did to them. Do you guys see how weird this is? Someone help me out. Help me out. I'm going to call a lifeline. I'm calling a lifeline in. The whole point is that this woman, her past life version of self, her current version of self, is the prototype for the ideal Nazi or Aryan. You know, they believe that the Aryan race should look Nordic. We just confirmed with her grandfather, being an immigrant from Sweden, which is part of the Nordic countries. And Nazi Germany is the one who carried out the atrocities on the Jews. Who are they steady taking money from and fighting? Say they're fighting for. Are they not fighting for the Jews? But based off of all of this and what Source just said, is that it's the same people. The people that are fighting against the Jews are the same people that got slayed. I'm sorry. It's so weird and trippy. Do you guys get it? You saw a bunch of balloons? Sorry, guys. I didn't look at this. See, I pray you guys get what I'm saying. See, they didn't want the notification to go out. By the way, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and like this video. Girl's been working overtime. They're going against it's weird. She's the prototype. They're saying that is what the pure race should look like. And we're going to slaughter everyone else that doesn't look like that. But they're the same people. What kind of psyop? The whole world is a psyop. So really, it all comes around full circle and dissolves itself. And this has happened in little pockets all over the world. I think in every timeline, in every bit of history, it's always done by the people. It's like it's like one family, half of the family betrays the other family. And because you're connected by blood, it's just a nothing fest. It all just goes full circle and ends up nothing because it's like you're doing it to yourself. You guys get what I'm saying. You follow? You get it? Yes. Thank you. Thank you. There we go. That's what it is. That is what it is. Do you know how crazy this is for them to be campaigning? And, we got to protect the Jews and anti-Semite this and that. Do you know how psychopathic this is now? Based off of what Source is saying. And they want to make it seem like it's us being anti-Semitic. But it's them from the beginning. It's them who just turned on themselves and did the atrocity. And then they tried to blame the rest of the world. You're being anti-Semitic. We got to protect the Jews. You're being anti-Semitic. You're the people who killed them. You're the same people. Do you see how crazy this matrix is? We got to get out of this. It's a house of mirrors. It's like one person's looking in the mirror. They see the other person on the other side of the mirror with a knife in their hand. They don't know it's them. And then they start going like this to the mirror. And they say, someone is trying to kill me. It's you. No one is doing anything to you. No one is being anti-Semitic. It isn't anyone but you. Y'all, this is wacky. What kind of What world is this? This just shakes the whole paradigm. I don't even know where to go anymore. And you see them literally reprimanding all of us. They're standing up there knowing they're the same people who took those people's lives, knowing they were responsible for the Holocaust. It's them. My God. I feel this so deeply, like within my being. This is sick. This is sick. Look at what they did. Wrote themselves into history as the victor. Even corrupted the images. Well, not to say they corrupted the Bible, but they placed themselves. So not only that, guys, these people are wacky. Wait a minute. Not only that. Not only are they standing in the mirror with the knife, they think it's someone else, but it's them. But then they went and stole a whole nother person's identification. So that they would just say, hey, it's not me. Then they go steal the true Israelites, which are still scattered, by the way. And then they steal their ID. And then they turn it in and say, yes, this is the person. This is who I am. And that's the other person who killed me. Meanwhile, you are the person who killed you. Jew. Oh my God. I didn't mean to say that. Well, sources. This is truly wacky. Thank you, Teresa, for the $5 super chat. Thank you. Our super sticker. Beautiful. Oh, I love it. I love it. But y'all, this is some wacky, wacky stuff. You can't make it up. And I am telling you, I've been saying this from day one. I said, I will know that Candace Owens is truly, truly, truly all the way into this thing. Here's how we're going to determine if Candace Owens is part of the PSYOP. Now, in no way am I insinuating Candace Owens believes she's part of the PSYOP. I believe that she doesn't think that she's part of the PSYOP. But these people are crafty. If they can blame the other half of themselves, they can blame anyone. And they can write any story. They can just plot you in there and make you part of the PSYOP. Now, I will know if she's truly standing on her sovereignty codes is if she reveals who the true Israelites is. And I'm telling you, this woman will do it. I am telling you, she will do it. It's going to shut the system. They might pull the plug. I think she already knows, but she don't know. I think subconsciously she knows. It's a matter of time. If this woman really says who the true Israelites are, and that the fact that when a lot of these people were taken from Africa, and, they were shipped all over the world, the Caribbeans, America, and, South America, all over. These people are so crafty. Not only did they look at themselves in the mirror with the knife, they went and stole the identity. They set up a whole campaign to go and take the true Israelites, put them in captivity, ship them away. And then they were able to literally body hop into the identity. Meanwhile, they know that it's themselves who injured themselves. They know that. Then on top of that, they made governments around the world pay billions of dollars in reparations when it was them who did it to themselves. This is cuckoo. I didn't even mean to come on here and say this, y'all. I promise you. I put that on everything. Source just came through and was like, no, I need you to say this. This is crazy town. So the thing is, I'm telling you, if Candace Owens reveals that, that fake ID card that they try to use, we're going to have to take that away. We're going to have to re-examine and bring up. See, you guys on the internet, you guys are something else. You guys are leading the charge. You have no idea. You guys are demanding truth. We are all here getting the freedom. We are all here. We are doing this thing, y'all. I'm telling you, we're doing it. I get confirmations in my daily life. We are doing it. We are winning. You guys, man, you guys are doing a great job. You guys have even forced Candace Owens to be more real. I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen it. But when the day Candace Owens, she's going to have a lot of ducks in a row because if she leaves that bomb, and if she does it in a way where she brings historical proof, these people are going to have to answer for the very history that has not just been written, but forced down everyone's throat and manipulated. People will feel like their entire life is a lie because the changing of one major thing in history, it's changed whole cultures. It's changed whole civilizations. It's changed whole energy fields. It's changed even the population. It's changed what certain groups of people can strive for. It's changed innovation. It's changed everything. If she does that, I'm telling you, it's much bigger than the Zionist. We're getting out. I don't know if Candace Owens knows what it is that she's doing. See, Charlie may have put a tear in our reality, but she opened this sucker wide open. And you know what she's causing? A ripple effect. I'm getting all this. And you know what else Candace Owens is causing? And we've all helped. Because remember, energetically, the collective has given their energy. We've put our energy into Candace Owens. So she's fueled. She doesn't know that, but she's fueled and she's protected and she has a lot of energy working for her if she will realize it. But I'm telling you, she opened this thing wide open where only someone that is a bot will not see this, or a White Walker has been turned into a White Walker, will not see this. And you know what else she's doing? What Source is saying is bringing me to Agartha. Agartha. I don't even know exactly what that is. Agartha. You see how they didn't want me to talk, messed up my whole thing, baby? I'm going to get Source's word out. Guys, please like the video and subscribe. Agartha. So they say, let's see what it is. They say it's a mythological, legendary underground kingdom said to exist in the Earth's core or in the inner surface, often linked to hollow Earth theories, central to esoteric beliefs. Okay, yeah, they just put that in there so they get people that are of Christ to stop reading. Agartha. So basically, a inner Earth civilization. Remember I spoke about this last week? I said that some beings come up from the inner Earth. Source is saying Agartha. She is opening Agartha. This woman is powerful. I don't even know she knows it. She's opening Agartha. She's literally opening the inner Earth. Let it sink in. Charlie put a tear. Baby, she opened it wide open. The whole inner Earth. When I tell you guys, like I said last week, there will be inner Earth beings that come to the surface of the Earth. And we will know that there has been beings living underneath us for some time. She's opening that. This is what Source is saying, Agartha. When I tell you guys how powerful we are, only if you will believe it. It's taken me time to believe. Because sometimes I'll do something in my session, and Angel, we're going to get to you. Thank you. And I'm telling you, I will get a confirmation of the entity I just removed that they have been defeated. Like yesterday, I showed you guys those gloves, how I was talking about in me and Angel's session where I removed the entity. This entity was the collective thing that we've been looking for this entire time. And I'm going to tell you who this person, not person, but entity was. But I am telling you, it was all about the hands and removing the hand that rocks the cradle, the hand that's been over humanity. That's why Erika had to show the rubbery hands. That's why she had her hands on JD's head. The hands that rules the consciousness, the minds of the masses. It's all a ritual. And it's interesting how she touched kind of the back of his head and rubbed his neck. What did I say? From day one, I felt an energy going into Charlie's back of the neck. Never the fur, never the front. Charlie Kirk did not die that day. That day was a stage psyop. However, yesterday we saw a sacrifice kind of, I'm getting lamb. I wanted to say a sacrifice tool, like a knife, and it felt like the energy of sacrifice. I'm telling you, something to the back of the neck. Source never lies. And like I said before, I saw them take something out of his brain. Now, this could be spiritually. Because they got all sorts of technology, so it could be spiritual. But nevertheless, this is what Erika Kirk is showing you. All of these things she's doing, it's just part of the psyop. But it's the same people. The same people causing and saying we're victims. You did it to yourself. You looked in the mirror. You were holding the knife. But you didn't want to be like, oh, silly me for thinking that was me. You went and you literally created whole timeline shifts, took the identity of the true Israelites, shipped them off into slavery and captivity, killed their kids, ate their baby. You know they used to eat slaves? I didn't even know that. Crazy. Now that's just nasty. That's just nasty. So when I tell you that they're eating part of people's brains, it makes sense. That's what they've always done. And then they brainwash the collective and tell you that it's you. It's you. We're a protected class. You did it to yourself. And instead of admitting it, you try to cover it up by stealing other people's identity. And now you've changed history. Like, when are they going to answer for their crimes against humanity? What is lamb sacrifice used for? Lamb sacrifice in religious context, primarily Judaism and Christianity, serves as a powerful symbol for atonement for sin, purification, redemption, and the substitute for human death. Okay. This is what I heard when I was like, I saw a little sacrifice tool or a knife. I was also getting lamb, like Charlie was like a lamb. Now, we could say sacrificial lamb, which I have said before, but it came through kind of separate, where the knife was kind of representing the slaughter of a lamb. So if we look at it in that way, it's a symbol for atonement for sins, purification, redemption, and a substitute for human death. That hit hard. A substitute for human death. You can't make it up. You can't do it. You can't. You can't make. Do you understand what Source is saying? What it feels like Source is trying to alert us to is that they used a lamb as a substitute for his death. if this is the true interpretation of Source's word, because Source gives it to me like a parable, then that means Charlie Kirk is definitely still alive. And I posed myself this question, especially since on 11/20 was the first day, 2 months, well over 2 months after the PSYOP. That's the first time ever I saw some actual harm or trouble. He looked like he was in a death state, but it also felt as if he was also being hidden, and also felt as if something was being taken from his brain. Either MK Ultra or, or what do you call it? Like a consciousness transfer of some sort. But in this moment, Source is almost answering the question that I posed out to the universe. It's a substitute. The lamb serves as a substitute for human death. Get where I'm going? You guys get that? Guys, this is trippy. This is trippy. This is trippy. So I know I'll get a confirmation on that, but that's the vibration of it hit different, because before, like the lamb, yes, it could mean that, or we could spin it another way. Jesus, the sacrificial lamb, yes, but it was the energy was a break in that. It was a break. So like energetically, I will feel the rhythm of words and how I receive them. And I guess those are really receiving light codes. So there was a break between the sacrifice. It didn't say sacrificial. It said sacrifice, and then there was like a space, an energetic pause, and then lamb. So that's why I'm leaning more towards, but it could be two folds, right? So thank you for that. But I'm leaning more towards the lamb being a substitute for human death. Like, why would it say that when I literally posed the question, like, is this man, is this man still here? And we know he didn't die that day, but what's going on now? A lamb can also be a sacrifice. I mean, can be sacrifice, but can be a substitute. That hit when I certain words, like they have a oomph to them, and I feel strongly where the energy is pulling me. And so they could have used something else as a substitute for a human death. Charlie would be the human death. What was the substitute? This is a question. Now, could the substitute be spiritual? Could it be Yeshua, Jesus, taking the pain away, kind of absorbing the pain of whatever, if he is passed away? Yes, absolutely. But we also have to remember we did not see a death. And this thing just said a substitute for a human death. Now, my question is, what is the substitute? And this is how, like, what I love about the psychic investigation is it allows us to explore energy. Instead of just, because when we get to explore energy, we actually learn a lot and we can see it from different angles. There's something coming up about an angel as well. Oh, angel. When I asked what was a substitute, I got angel. I really did. I got angel. So either there was an angel, or it was my client angel, who stood in for a substitute so that there would not be a human death, is what I'm getting. I'm getting an angel. I'm getting a strong A vibration angel. Very interesting. Someone, Erika, is the substitute, maybe. Yes. Thank you for saying that. maybe Erika is a substitute. As I feel this protection, right, from an angel. Because, you know, we're all like have our spiritual team and our spiritual protection. So maybe there was an angel looking out. Raphael, I'm hearing. But then if we look at her popping into his space, we can look at that too, like she is a substitute. Because it's always twofold. There's a duality playing out. There's a duality playing out. But if we pop her in there, she is a substitute because she literally took his position, Charlie's position. And now she's literally given the donors what they want. They want you to be Israel first. She's given that. It all makes sense. I'm in the comments. Lambs were used as the original sacrifice as a substitute for sin instead of people. Wow. See, I'm telling you guys, today I said to myself, I don't believe there's any consequences for these people. And I know that's a lot to hold because we've been told that there is. But I'm telling you, these people aren't human. The rules we play by, they gave that to us. That's why I don't even want to say this. Because like I said, if you can only view God in one way based off of what they gave us, then, you know, what I say next will be a problem. But, you know, one thing I love about my relationship with God is God has always allowed me to explore these concepts, right? And God has been there the whole entire way, because when something is true, you can prove it outside of itself. It will show up in your reality and prove itself very gently, very smoothly. It won't have to be boastful, prideful. It will just be a gentle nudge that, yes, this is true. This is the right place. This is the right time, right? So, there isn't any punishment for these people. Because if you think about the lamb, because they're still doing, it's the witchcraft, y'all. It go back to the dang old witchcraft they keep doing. They're using the lamb instead of for the atonement of their own sins. It's going, like I told you, her soul, I trace it back to the Norse mythology, this Freyr god that was the god of like all these different things. But she specifically, this was her job was about fertility. This is where she learned magic. This is where she learned witchcraft. This is where she learned it. It's the same stuff done today. There isn't anything different. Her donors think she's an angel. They do. Also, they've been trying to pass Erika Cough off at Erika Cough. Erika Kirk. I said Erika Cough. Erika, what you coughing up over there, girl? That's interesting. Like a widow. I don't even know how. That's what I'm saying. If you can't see how foolish passing her off like any grieving widow is, I don't know what to tell you. But let me stay right here. Hold on. We got to stay on Angel, because Angel, let me tell you. So guys, that session I did with Angel, her past life regression, we ran across this entity called Tika. Tika, the moment Tika came up, and I always say, hey, can I talk to them? When I started talking to Tika, energy, I was already, and I didn't want to be rude and not continue, but I didn't like her. I didn't like the energy. It felt as if I already knew that it was a lie. Long story short, it was just a reptilian cloaking. But in her session, I'm going to show this to you guys. In her session, it was all about the hands. That this entity, reptilian, and I'm going to take it out of Angel's session because now it's much broader. Angel, you were an angel who brought this collective consciousness into the session, because as I expand this thing out and sat with it over the past few days, this was collective. This was the energy we've been looking for during the psychic investigation. You brought this and delivered this thing on a platter. And I'm telling you, I was crushing that thing. But it showed up as an entity in our hands. When I tell you how demonic this matrix is, where they will seed entities into our hands, you eat with your hands. You do everything with your hands. You wash with your hands. You make the most beautiful creations with your hands. You express from your emotional body with your hands. The whole time in this whole thing, I've been channeling a shadow hands in the background of this thing. I had no idea that the hands within itself was holding some entity energy, that they've seeded themselves in to humanity, because they want everyone to look in the mirror and be afraid of their shadow. They want everyone to be so disillusioned just like them. So that's why they tell you not to point, because we found out in the session, when you point, here's the pointy finger, you actually cursing. This was like an entity I found. When you point, it's like just giving us a lesson. Here's a face in the palm of the hands, right? And you see those people shake hands all the time. We got a deal. We got a deal. I'm telling you, it's stemming from these people. It's all just crooked and sideways, y'all. It's like they are a mutation to us. They are the mutation. And here's the mutation energy. It's in the wedge of the hands. So you know how this part of you just, it don't look all the way human, because a lot of beings have wedge hands and feet. That's part of them. That's part of the mutation, because these people have always been tinkering around with our genes. Do you know it's illegal for you to do a DNA test in Israel? I wonder why that is, because it's going to come back that you're not an Israelite. You're not even from Israel. That's why it's illegal. That's why. But anywho, so this energy that we removed was attached to the collective of the hands that I kept channeling throughout this whole psychic investigation. Who is the shadow hands? This is what I was asking myself. Who is this? And I'm telling you, last night, I recorded something. I woke up in the wee hours of the morning and I found out who it was. Now, hold on. I want to bring this up. I want to make sure I do not misword the prophecy. Hold on.
I understand that. The entity that was found in the client session is responsible for the negative thought forms, for the mutation of the DNA. Even this thing called GPS is a false system for them to track your signal and to redirect you. Consciously, they want our consciousness.
Did you guys hear that? Let me see. Let me check. Did you guys hear that? Okay, perfect. You guys have heard that. So this entity, when we zone out on a collective scale, is the entity that, that little voice in your head that is always negative and your biggest hater. Oh, my source. Oh, source about to bring this home. Oh my God. You can't make it up. This entity, when I zoned it out to a collective scale, This was the prophecy I got in about around 6 a.m. I woke up and recorded it. It said, I'm going to play it again. It's very important.
I understand that the entity that was found in the client session is responsible for the negative thought forms, for the mutation of the DNA. Even this thing called GPS is a false system for them to track your signal and to redirect you consciously.
Yo, this thing was so much bigger. That's why I say thank you, Angel. You have no idea what you've done for humanity. We are so much bigger than we ever thought that we are. This entity is those negative voices in your head. When you think that it's you, remember the analogy I gave? They're looking in the mirror. They see the other person on the other side with the knife and they start to run, even though it's them. And they tinkered around with our DNA. What did I say? They mutated it. I found the mutation right here in the hand. Source said mutation. This is how we can recognize that we've been mutated. That's why you got reptilian brain. That's why they always talk about your reptilian brain. Here's the proof that they mutated us. That's why the evolution of mind and consciousness is all that there is. Because this body, I call it the Satan body. It has been mutated. And disease. We are not to be living with disease. These people have mutated it because they're not human. They want to turn us into them. That's why they want to turn us into the cyborg. That's why they're trying to bring AI. They're trying to even the playing field because you are getting away. Their food source is getting away. It all goes back to human trafficking, or rather now consciousness transferring, consciousness trafficking. It's consciousness trafficking is what it is. And the reason why Candace Owens opened up Agartha is because the inner earth beings are now going to come to the surface of the earth. I think we have help. This thing is we're about to be in our galactic templates, y'all. We're going, Candace Owens went interstellar on them. She's opened up all sorts of wormholes. It ain't a rabbit hole, girl. She done opened up inner earth. This is how powerful we all are. And I'm telling you, I got a confirmation when this being was removed. The hands, remember the picture of the hands I showed you guys? I just randomly seen these gloves on a sidewalk. It had CK on it. You can't make it up. It had Charlie Kirk's initials, and they were all charred, just like people said that his hands were charred. I got the confirmation. We are kicking their butt, and they don't know what to do. They want you to keep looking in the mirror and being afraid of your shadow. And I'm here to tell you that those negative thought forms is their mutation, because they're the only crazy wacko people that look in the mirror holding the knife and say, oh, it's someone else. We don't do that. That's why you don't like those negative thought forms. That's why you just like, why can't I think positive? Because they have mutated us to be like them so that we all blend in. Because if we did not have the mutation after all, we would know who we are. We would obviously know that we are the sovereign and not them. We would obviously know that we are the chosen and not them. It would be too obvious. So they must mutate through the food and through all of the things in the air and through the water. This is how they've been doing it, to turn you into them, so that you look at your shadow and you run from it, right? Because that's their code. So though any negative voice, it ain't yours. Do you think that is part of the God expression? No, it's not. They lie to us. Pull yourself up by the bootstrap. You're doing this wrong. No, stop mutating humanity. There isn't any such thing as anything less than Christ consciousness. Is a lie. And this brings me to the bigger bag. This brings me to the bigger thing of what I've been afraid to speak of. Anything outside of the Christ vibration, that highest aha, is a lie. A lot of lies, y'all, they've written down in biblical text. It's part of the mutation to keep the negative thought forms and the fear. You don't want to end up like some of these characters in the Bible after all, do you? It's part of their mutation because they are the only ones that look in the mirror, see themselves with the knife, and start screaming as if someone else is doing it, but it's them. They can't stop you, chosen one. If you're alive, you're chosen now. Answer the call now. Feel the vibration now. It's deeper than the slavery, deeper than the human trafficking. That consciousness swap, what I kept seeing very early on in the psychic investigation that they want to do with Charlie, it's the trafficking of our consciousness. Thank you, Angel. You led me to this. I couldn't figure it out. It's like, who is these hands? The hand that rocks the cradle, the hand that mutates humanity, the hand that sees themselves as the victor in every timeline, the hand that creates negative thought forms to keep you separated from your true authentic self, Christ's body and self and light and divinity. Because after all, if you did not have the negative thought forms, you would know that you are of God. And it would be easy to spot who they are and that they are not. This is the true message. We are above all of this, because even some of the biblical texts have been put through their trick mirrors of deception. This is why I will always do this work. I don't care if I win the jackpot tonight. I will always do this because this is the true work. We are winning, guys. We're opening up their hiding spaces and we're plucking them out. This is what it says here, guys, that I wrote. I channeled this book with Source God, The Great Expansion of Cosmic Bible for the Ages. You can pick it up on Amazon. This is what it said would happen. We would pluck them out of their hiding spaces, of their religious houses. We're plucking them out. The lie has been exposed. You are larger than them. You're larger than... You can't be quantified. There isn't a book that can tell the true story of the Christ light and vibration which you are. It has not been written yet. It has probably been written and hidden. We can't see it. We have to get the version of the Bible that exalts them and lowers us. That's why there's so much slavery and killing and pillaging and obey your master and commands for you to be less than. Because it's a trick mirror. But all things are revealed. In this year of the 9, the karmic mirror says so. We must see truth. There is help coming. They want to traffic your consciousness because of who you are. Because you are part of God. God energy, life force. Because that's what the session was about. Remember, Angel? About the life force. And this entity was trying to pervert. When we think about like the Hindu religions and stuff, they do talk a lot about life force. They were trying to pervert that, to just lead us to, you see, what have I been saying? These people hide in religions to control us. We're plucking them out of their hiding spaces. Take away religion because it's hiding God from you, because it hides your own divinity, your own Christ light and vibration, your own I am code. There isn't any way to ever be without God. You can take any man-made thing away and you will still be it. But they wanted to give you their trick mirror of illusions so that you keep lowered. And that Tika energy entity that I removed is the one responsible for feeding us the negative thought forms. And I met one of her descendants in the flesh. I met her. And that's why when Tika came up, I already energetically felt like I was like, no, it was just off-putting. I don't like this energy. Because I had already interfaced with one of her predecessors. Or the one who came after her. So I already knew that the energy should not be trusted. No matter how much it tries to cloak, should not be trusted. And the whole reason of why they need that is so that they separate the lie, char lie, so that they can separate, keep you so far away from the lie. So these people are not just in the business of slavery and human trafficking, but the end goal is to traffic your consciousness. That's the end goal. And that is why this one was so important, because this shows the consciousness. Like I said, this is Charlie. You can't, this is undeniable. That's that man's nose. That's his mouth. Neckline. His head would be here. They took something from this man's brain. I keep saying pineal gland. It could be spiritual. Could be what I've said from day one, a consciousness transfer. These people are trafficking consciousness. Can't make it up. Like the video, y'all, and subscribe. You can't make it up. And this was the first time I saw Charlie in any sort of deaf state was here. And these lines, when these lines show up like this is always Erika Kirk. She always shows up as a slanted energy. So she's even hiding half of his face. So I don't even know what the other eye looks like, or, you know, is it worse than this or is it better? But this was the first day. And this was what, 3-4 weeks ago. The first time I got any inkling of this man being sedated, dead, drained. They could have already switched out the consciousness. And that's why the body's looking this way. And that's why this thing is missing. Now, whether if this is in the physical or spiritual. But I got that from day one. I got to stand on that. So they are trafficking consciousness because they can't stop you anymore. They put it off, lied so much, confused us, wrote themselves as the victor, put laws in place to literally say it's okay to enslave you and for you to be servants and peasants and, you know, for us to be in the high house, you know, and for you to just, you know, we just call anti-Semitic, and that will protect us. So now let's say what, and did you hear how I said they're like GPS? Hold on.
Even this thing is a false system for them to track your signal and to redirect you consciously. They want our consciousness. This is what they want. So the being the entity that created humanity, or rather, that stole us, the end game is our consciousness. And they're using our hands to control signals.
Whoa. It's funny how you don't even know, like, when you're so tired, like, what you're saying. So, GPS, they're tracking us through the GPS because they have to, guys. The end goal is what source said. The end goal is the consciousness. So in some way, the slavery and the human trafficking is only to prime your energy field for the big reveal, for the big consciousness transfer. So when I tell you guys from day one, I always saw Charlie Kirk's consciousness being transferred, is because that is now what plugs into the collective template, because he has collective codes and energy. Charlie does, Candace, Owens does, even Erika, Kirk. I mean, my client Angel, myself, a lot of us are holding these collective codes. It's almost given, I think everyone holds collective codes. The question is it being expressed? Do you know how to find it, right? And this is why a lot of people feel so heavy. They feel so weighed down, is because they don't even understand that the energy is not theirs. It's the collective energy that needs to be released, right? So the end goal is the consciousness. And that's why I always saw this from day one of them taking this man's consciousness, because this thing is the mirror. Part of it reflects, the larger scheme. It's not the face value. You got to pay attention to the hands. When Erika Kirk put her hands on that head, rubbed it down by the neck, the severing of the three-eye atlas. The atlas is actually found in your neck. The C1 vertebrae in the neck. That's why AI Atlas is part of this. That's why there was a 3 days of darkness energy. This is why people got headaches. This was being attacked, this third eye. And this freaking demon tried to come into my session trying to literally give me smoke and freaking mirrors. And it was a freaking reptilian just cloaking. I just let it talk because it was telling on itself. It gave me the information of what it's doing to mutate humanity. It gave me the information, so I let it talk. So, I don't know. Sometimes these entities are so dumb. I don't know. Sometimes I just wonder, like, why don't you learn how to lie well? That's why I'm telling you, I know Erika Kirk is not human, because they just can't hide it. They just, when pressed, they just really can't, they just can't fake it. So, all too well. So that's what's going on, guys. The end goal is your consciousness. And you know why that is? It's about to be a drop the mic moment. It's because you're God. You are your father's DNA, your mother's DNA. They are not human. They've been trying to figure out a way to get what you have. So they lower your field, prop themselves up, put distance between you and them, give you the lie while they sit high, put laws into place, collude every government around the world, see themselves on the top in every financial sector, take over whole companies that will literally fragment the minds of the masses, like Turning Point USA. to siphon you on an individual and on a collective scale. They are creating in their lab right now. I'm channeling all of this consciousnesses. You see that AI consciousness where they say AI will reach singularity and that they are creating the AI God. It's because it's a stolen consciousness from all of us. And our lovely GPS system allows them to track your frequency to create their fake AI God. But they want the real thing, which is your God consciousness. And they've been after God since the beginning of time. The war ain't against us. The war is against God. When I tell you, we are the protectors of God consciousness. We are the protectors of God consciousness. Wow. That hit. We are. That switches everything. Do you see how our mirror is different? Their mirror keeps you chasing your own tail, blaming other people, creating lies and more lies to cover up the illusion. Our mirror reveals. It leads us back to that Christ consciousness aha moment. We are the protectors of God consciousness. That's it. That's it. That's it. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. Like, I appreciate each and every one of your energy, your vibration so much. I truly believe, and I'm saying this wholeheartedly, that you guys, I'm literally, you guys are bringing stuff. When I'm telling you, that's why I don't do videos. I'm telling you, whether you know it or not, the people who watch me on a regular basis, you guys are also channelers for the collective. You guys are holding codes. I'm just able to receive that. We are doing this as a collective. I am telling you, we are. I truly, truly thank you, each and every single one of you guys, for being here, for pouring your energy. You could be anywhere else right now, but you're here because this is important to you, because you saw past the psyop and you understand that it's like this is destiny. This is destiny. Thank you. Thank you, Angel, for being the angel and sharing your session. And you helped the collective out so much. And you have a lot. You have a lot. You're not small. None of us are small. Hi, Teresa. Elizabeth, everyone, Sister Sonia, Angelic Starseed. Sorry, I'm just going back in the chat. Josie, AT Mass, Minky C, everyone, Vicky, yes, Randy, Jacqueline. Thank you guys. I really appreciate you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And anyone that I missed, and anyone that will be watching in the future, welcome in. Thank you so much. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. And I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. We're just going to let that be that. It was a powerful message. Thank you again, Source. And I love you. I love you. I love you. And so it is as we walk together in divine love. Be well, guys. Be well.